Welcome to the College COD postseason. It's a long and treacherous road for 117 teams to battle through the LCQ, and we are here to bring the action. I hope you have your popcorn ready, because this is going to be a great one. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Cruz. We are here to bring the calls for the night, or to start this one off. And Jesse, let's dive right into this. Let's kick it into gear and talk about the LCQ. What are we looking at here?
I mean, we're looking at a very long and treacherous road, especially for the teams that are competing here tonight to start us off, because this is the round one of the LCQ. And these teams are going to have to go through a very long bracket to even get to the 64-team playoff bracket. And to kind of break that down, it starts off here, LCQ round one. You play your first matchup as a seed 3 team, or a tier 3 team, going up against a tier 4 team. Basically, if you were top 4 inside of your tier 4, you were still able to qualify. If you were bottom 4, that's who you're going to be going up against here tonight in your first matchup, and that's exactly what we have here. Winner of this match will then go on to play a round 2 matchup. Winner of that will then go on to play a round 1 matchup. Winner of that will then qualify for the 64-team playoffs. So a lot on the line for a lot of these teams here tonight, and like I said, a very, very long road ahead for both of them.
Exactly. I mean, it doesn't get easier as the games go on. It only gets harder. But let's jump right into our match number 1 for the day, Jesse. We're looking at the Midwest Group B. And round number 1, it's UWL Esports versus Cincinnati COD. As we jump into the head-to-head, this is an interesting one, because when you look at these two teams, you're looking at a tier 4 in Cincinnati COD and a tier 3 team in UWL Esports. And, the Bearcats over in Cincinnati, they're looking to claw their way from the bottom right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at these two teams, not the prettiest records in the world, let's be honest here. We've got a tier 3 and a tier 4 team, right? They're not going to be that tier 1, tier 2 teams that you're seeing come in with those beautiful looking records that everybody loves so much. And you can see it here. I mean, really just like a 9-11, 725 hardpoint record, 14-10 search and destroy. That's probably the one thing that really stands out. And then the 8-7 control record. And then on the other side, for Cincinnati COD, it's 7-10. with a 4-14 hardpoint, 5-10 search and destroy, and a 5-6 control record. So, I mean, not the prettiest either way on either side, but both teams, like you said, really kind of just going to be coming out here today and putting it all on the line, trying to fight as hard as possible to go up against Southern Illinois in their next matchup.
And Jesse, you said it yourself. I mean, if these teams wanted to qualify for playoffs, they are going to have to battle their hardest to make it. Let's move even farther throughout this. Let's take a look at our home roster for the night. You got the University of Wisconsin Lacrosse, and representing the team, Organic, Sam, KG, and Rapid CJ.
And this team is really interesting because Sam has been a very, very good player for this team all year long. By far leading the way in terms of slaying for this entire roster. Game in, game out, he seems to at least be top of the leaderboard, if not top, second on the leaderboard. He's been so consistent all year long. And then when you're looking at one other person on this roster, I'm looking at Organic. I think that he is the X factor for this roster. When this player is slain and playing at their absolute best, that's when this team is winning matches. When he is not, and when he's playing at the bottom of the leaderboard, not keeping up with the rest of his teammates, that's when they're losing. So I think he's going to be the player to watch here tonight.
You're going to have to salvage what you have with your best players when you're coming all the way from round number 1. But let's look across the table from them, Jesse. Let's look at this away team, the University of Cincinnati, your Bearcats, representing Wraith, Flex, Bung, and Nosh.
And this roster is another one where it's a little bit interesting because Flex, again, has been by far and away the best player for this roster for the Bearcats this season, consistently leading the way in the slaying department. The big thing for this roster, though, is who's going to step up to the plate to help him out through a lot of these series, because it's really just been him in a lot of situations this year. Need the other 3 players to step up, especially going into the postseason.
Jesse, when you're looking into a team like this, that's coming from, the bottom right now, tier 4, it's not going to be easy to climb all the way into playoffs when you're coming out of that. What do you need out of this team? Who are you looking at, maybe to lead the way, and what do you need out of this team if they want to scrounge their way into the playoffs?
So for the Bearcats, I'm especially looking at the other 3 players. I'm not so much looking at Flex. I'm looking at Wraith, Bung, and Nosh to really kind of step it up. When I was looking back at their only loss inside of their tier 4 matchups, it was up against Carroll University. And in that matchup, they got 3-0'd, and again, Flex was the only player on the team really even putting up competitive numbers. If you want to be able to make a run in the postseason, all three players need to start to step it up and raise their game to a level that we haven't even seen all season if they want to be able to make it to that 64-team bracket.
Hey, I mean, you have to start somewhere right now, and at the end of the season, for a lot of these teams, this is where you're backed into a corner and looking to fight out. But Jesse, let's set the scene right now for this best of 5, because this is going to be a long one between these two teams. Looking to battle it out. We got Bokash map 1, Berlin map 2, Tuscan map 3. And if this goes the distance to a map 4 and 5, you're looking at Berlin and Tuscan to close this one out. An interesting one because aside from the Berlins and Tuscans, I mean, we got the icebreaker Bokash to open this up.
So when you're looking at this map set and you're looking and you're trying to figure out between these two teams, like, what modes do either team need to win to really find a lot of success here tonight? I think you're looking at the University of Wisconsin lacrosse to be very good in your 2, 3s, and 5s. They've been very good at search and destroy and control all year. 8-24 hardpoint record on the season, not the best in terms of their hardpoint. So definitely going to need to pick it up there. And I think that's where Cincinnati needs to take full charge and take full advantage of them. I know they haven't been the greatest team all season long either in terms of their overall record. But if Cincinnati wants to come out and they want to win this matchup, they need to take advantage of UWLA's weaknesses, where they are their weakest in the game, and straight up, that's going to be hardpoint. So this map number 1 is almost a must-win for me for the Cincinnati roster.
And you can imagine, going to a map like Bokash, Jesse, where you were talking about you need the Bearcats to show up inside of their outside 3 players. This is a great chance to brawl, set the mood early, see if you can get everybody on the same page and get everybody firing on all cylinders. So I'm excited. Bokash to open up the stream on Alpha. You're always expecting something a little bit chaotic. So let's hop on board to this map number 1. You got Cincinnati COD on the left, UWL Esports on the right. As we hop on with Flex right off the rip, he's looking to go for a little bit of an overextension, but he does have a meeting with Sam early on, and that's a big win out of Sam. Should open up the lane, and when you look at it, it was a great opening, but a great bounce back out of Cincinnati.
And look for that battle between the two SMGs all day long. Sam, by far the best player on UWL. Cincinnati, it's going to be Flex leading the way as well. So just keep watching for that battle here today. Those two strong slain SMG players on these two rosters to really be trying to fight and lead the way here. But yeah, like you said, not a terrible start here for Cincinnati. You do get a little bit of time, but spawns now flipped out. UWL get the spawns up on the left-hand side. 20 seconds left. They can continue to gain a little bit of time here on P1, along with trying to continue to hold on to those spawns here for P2.
And Jesse, it would have been even better if you can hold on to these spawns, but now the Bearcats, they need to fight through P1 just to get to this P2, and that's not going to be an easy route, especially when you have Sam, that main slayer on the front line here on screen, trying to watch the cutoffs, but it's a heads-up play to the Bearcats to rush right over to the site, see if they can take them head-on for the rotation. It blows up right in their face. They're going to be 3 down right away for the opening of hill number 2, but you're looking at player number 3, Bung, on a flank, finds a kill on the KG, is able to really shake up these spawns. You can see UWL now spawning up back Grandma, so an opening now for the Bearcats to break on in. They just need to take down Sam, who's managed to stay alive all the way in the back line, and this is troublesome because pretty soon you're going to have UWL and Sam still slaying out.
It's a huge individual play there from Bung, though, to be able to get those spawns in the back, flip that out, give Cincy a good chance to get a good amount of time here on this first hill, and they absolutely are. They're locking things down now. You can see UWL, they'll probably try to hit this one more time with Organic here. Organic falls, and now with 14 seconds left, you really can't afford to commit any more resources over towards the 0 hill. If you're UWL, you just need to chalk it, rotate over towards Grandma's, and if you actually look at Grandma's, there's player number 1 already inside the back line, might be able to flip these spawns out and give Cincinnati COD a good chance to be able to rotate from hills 2 to 3.
Wraith in a strong position. Up top, Grandma's gives away his position, but here comes the collapse from the rest of them, and Wraith able to stay alive up top while his teammate breaks from the front line. It finds a 2 for 2, so UWL won't be taken out just yet. Wraith has to get into the mix. Good for 1. That's going to be it. It's a good hold right now from UWL inside of this P3. Sam soaking up the time. Back in for the contention will be Cincinnati, but for how long? Because he can't take out Sam. He's 12-4, make it 13-4 on 6 in a row. Looking for this glide bomb. Back in for the contention. He knows he's here. Has to play for the streak. Patiently as ever, but there it is. Glide bomb going to be locked down. Big plays out of Sam early.
This is the thing. If you're Cincinnati COD, you cannot let Sam get comfortable on the map. Need to make their best player as uncomfortable as possible through a lot of this game, and Sam already leading the way by a lot for this UWL roster. 15-4 on an 8 spree, playing so well right now. basically the reason why they're able to lock down the full 60 here on the Grandma's Hill. Never really lose a lot of time. We'll end up falling on that 8 spree, but keep a look across the map. Player number 5, KG, trying to make a play in through stables, able to grab one. This could set up a big pinch potential now on the Cincinnati players inside the hill.
That'll set up a pinch and a break. Flex looking to stay alive now on an island. Get towards Bung as his teammate, but Bung goes down, so it's going to leave Flex alone. In for the contention comes UWL Esports. Nosh around the outside, but it's Wraith inside.
Wow.
Finds 3 in a row, locks things down. A comfortable hold so far for the Bearcats. Now only 10 points down.
Now Flex looking to find streaks as well. Unfortunately, will fall through middle of the map, so doesn't get streaks to be able to answer back to Sam, who found that 8 in a row, found that glide bomb. That's going to be so useful once we get over towards P5. Even if they don't have spawns, you can drop that down. Guarantee yourself a good shot at trying to break down that P5 hill, but they might not even need to use it. When you look across the map with 10 seconds left on this hill, it's going to be UWL Esports, first team over at the new hill, first team set up. And if they can lock down top street control, I mean, they could be in a really, really good spot to get a good amount of time here on this P5 hill.
Big if to ask, can they do it? Yes, so far, but Nosh slips the line, finds a way in. We do see a lead change, Jesse, in favor of the Bearcats going into P5, but with the better spawns, UWL Esports not too far away. They find 2 down, looking for the third. It's Flex bait, and Bunga to look to turn up. 1v1 on the inside is Sam versus Flex. Of course, the SMG matchup that you were paying attention to, Jesse. This time, it goes the way of Flex. You find the break if you're the Bearcats, and now holding on to a lead with 30 seconds left inside this Hill 5. You have the better spawns. You have the setup now. This could be interesting for UWL Esports. Are they going to take another swing at this?
I mean, maybe send another player or two. You really can't afford to kind of give too much to this. Although the new spawn and the new hill is pretty much only 10 feet away from this, so maybe they take a few more shots at this and they actually do break in through the last couple seconds of this hill. And you can see at the end of our first set of rotations, it's going to be a 10-point game, a 10-point lead for Cincinnati COD. So a good start to this game for them. Sam does not use that streak though, so keep that in the back of your mind that they still do have a glide bomb on the side of UWL if things get dicey towards the end of this game.
10-point game going into the second set, Jesse. You're paying attention to that SMG matchup between Sam and Flex. Sam 22 and 13. Definitely battling out a little bit better than Flex right now, but when you're looking at the supporting cast, I mean, the Bearcats, they have been firing together throughout this map 1, and it's the reason why they're still together in this. And a very contested hill number 1 like you expect, but you're paying attention to the spawns going into P2 with 25 seconds left onto this one. It's going to be, again, UWL Esports in a fantastic position for a transition.
They just need to make sure that Bung doesn't slip the line this time. It's exactly what happened in the last set of rotations. It was just one player on Cincinnati. Slipped the line, they got to the back, and when they got to the back, they stopped any spawns for UWL coming in there. And unfortunately, just so many players fall, and it is only Sam who's alive in the back. Sam ends up falling, and it is just another perfect break, a perfect transition for Cincinnati COD. Not having the spawns in the back, able to flip them out, give themselves a great chance at locking down a good amount of time here now on P2. They need to keep their eye on player number 6, though, because he's going for the exact same flank here.
Back. Organic. On 3 now. Sam finds 2 on the front line. Organic looking to shut the door behind, and he does. A perfect break out of UWL Esports off of Sam and Organic. Tearing things up. Having quite the game indeed. A tie game at that. These last 31 seconds would be huge if UWL wants this lead, Jesse, but here comes knocking. Bearcats, Flex bait, and Nosh both work together to do exactly what Organic and Sam did. They break from the front and looking to pick up the scrap time.
And honestly, that break is so important for Cincinnati there, just to get a little bit of time here on P2 because of how badly they got outplayed on that P3 hill inside of Grandma's in our last set of rotations. That's where you saw Sam go on that big streak. He went on an 8 spree, locked down pretty much a full 60 for their team in the last set of rotations. Now KG in the back, already trying to make a play for the new spawns. And what this is going to do, actually, is it's going to allow for a chance for every player on UWL to just pinch on the 2 players now left remaining inside the hill here for Cincinnati. And this should cause a break in spawns now going in the favor of UWL.
A little bit of a suffocation play as they surge on forward. UWL, they break the lines of the Bearcats, but off the respawn, you can see fast back in is Flex. Nice play against Organic. Snaps up forward, finds 2 in a row on a 3 spree. Looking towards the respawns, though. I don't think he read this in time. UWL Esports, they still have the back Grandma spawn, so the fighting's not done just yet. Flex bait, he knows that. On 4 in a row, can he make it 5? No, KG's going to shut him down, too. Go the way of UWL, looking for the break. It's a one-on-one versus Nosh, and KG, he's going to put the final nail in the coffin. for the last 14 seconds, or he was, Jesse, but, you know, it's Bokosh. You know those quick spawns? Cincinnati, they get right back into things, looking for the last 7 seconds. Wraith, he's inside Grandma's.
I know Flex doesn't have the prettiest score line right now at 25 and 21, but he's going massive for this roster. I mean, inside that last hill alone, he pops another 5 spree. That's twice inside of that hill that we've seen him go on a little bit of a spree here to give his team a chance to be able to get time there. And he not only gives them a chance at getting time, but also stops UWL from getting pretty much any time there because he just was chopping them down time and time again off the respawn. Big plays coming in from Flex. Now looking at this rotation over towards the new hill, it is UWL first team here, first team set up, ready to go. But another pinch developing here from Cincinnati, and they were successful with this pinch in the last set of rotations.
Sam zapping back and forth. It's a split kill feed until Rapid finds the difference maker. UWL soaking up as much time as possible inside Barn, but the backline, Bearcats, they're going to have the better spawn, so they're going to go right back up with a full 4 stack, and look at that. Clean 3 down. They break back in. 12 seconds until Hill 5.
Let's not forget the last time through to Hill 5. It was UWL, first team there, first team set up, ready to go. But it was almost an instant break from Cincinnati. You never saw the score streak get used and utilized by Sam. If it gets scary this time through with the differential and the 30-point lead that we're seeing on the side of Cincinnati, I would very much so expect to see the glide bomb get called in here.
Flex leads the way. You see the teammates follow up. A break from Bearcats into this one. Will we see the glide bomb? So far, we haven't just yet. KG lines up too to shake things up for Cincinnati, but still collecting time as they're only 25 seconds away from dropping map number 1 in their favor. You're going to need a break here, and Sam looking to sneak on in. Decides to go for the spawns indeed. He's missing out on so much information right now. Finally going to be taking these gunfights, and Wraith's going to shut him down. Now 13 seconds left for Cincinnati COD to shut down game number 1, Jesse. And you only need 8 seconds to collect if you are the Bearcats. Nobody in a position to touch right now. It's just desperation mode if you're UWL, but you have high ground control, you have point control, and now you're taking map number 1. What a start here for the Bearcats.
That's a perfect start for the Bearcats. It's exactly what you needed if you're Cincinnati coming into this one. You know you don't have the prettiest record in the world, but you get the job done in UWL's weakest mode. You come into it, you knew that the hard points were absolutely vital for this roster to come out and take. And what do? They come out and they win by 70 points in map number 1. I know it's 68 points. I know how to do math, guys, but we'll round up for the heck of the stream, right? And I mean, a 70-point lead there for Cincinnati by the end of it. That's a big map. The only thing, Colin, that I'm looking back at that map and I'm just sitting here and I'm scratching my head wondering is if you are UWL, you allowed so many points on P5 and you had a glide bomb through 2 sets of rotations, never once gets invested onto that hill, and I don't know why.
Big blunder. I mean, it's exactly that. You had the shriek. I mean, Sam maybe, you know, as an SMG player thinking, I gotta keep up the pace. You know, I have no time to drop that kill streak because I'm the player to make plays. And a glide bomb, I mean, you just have to look at it as a situation where that is your play. To break back into that hill, you needed that glide bomb. And I think if UWL Esports, you missed a big opportunity there, Jesse, like you pointed out. So, I mean, taking a look at the stats early on in the game, well, right away in the game, you talked about the SMG matchup between Flex and Sam. What we're going to see, well, Sam outslaying FlexBait 37-25 compared to the 32-25. But you made the point yourself saying that FlexBait, when he was finding kills, they were important kills.
Also, Flex started really negative in that game. I believe he was like 5-9 at one point in that map. So to come back and finish 32-25, a very, very impressive finish. And I think we saw it. It was P3 or P4 in this first set of rotations, and it was P3 in the second set of rotations, where we've seen him go on 5 to 6 kill sprees in those 2 hills, in the Barn Hill and inside of Grandma's. And with him going on those sprees, that's where you saw a good chunk of time going towards Cincinnati, but also that big stop on Grandma's is really what blew the lead open. UWL held the spawns the entire time in that second set of rotations. Even in the first set, that's where they found their full 60. But in the second set, it was just Flex sitting inside of the little middle connector room, inside a shed going in towards Grandma's, and just chopping down the UWL players every time they tried to push in from the tank side of the map. And it was just a great job to just not allow them to get any comfortability inside of that hill and get inside and collect a good amount of time for themselves. So, I mean, I think that Flex was honestly the player of that map for me.
I agree. You know, it's pretty easy decider saying that Flex was the one making the plays. He was very influential in map number 1, but we're moving on now, Jesse, to map number 2. Berlin Search and Destroy, and coming into the series, you and I, we were talking about, this is tier 4, tier 3 teams, maybe not teams that you look at to make the run and qualify for playoffs, but teams that if they come out, they make the changes and they're consistent, they definitely can make it interesting throughout it. And I think Search and Destroys are going to be where I look at teams to make the biggest changes. When you're heading into a Berlin Search and, you're a team fighting from the bottom here inside round 1 of the LCQ, I want to see coordinated team pushes. I want to see trades. I want to see kind of holding hand plays, for retakes, just running together, making sure that you're playing as a team and, you're working together, because in Search and Destroy, I mean, you can make anything happen if you're working together as a squad. I see so many teams do it, especially in Vanguard. Just play as two, run throughout the map, find your trades, and win out on your battles for your sites. It's pretty simple for a lot of teams inside Vanguard, and I think that if you're a team coming out of tier 4 or tier 3, I can look at plays like that in Search and Destroy to make improvements.
I like that a lot. I think that a big thing as well, to kind of add on to your point, is just to simplify the game as much as possible going in towards Search and Destroy right now. Just make sure you're making as little mistakes as possible. I think we saw it last week in the Davenport versus Northwood match, or Davenport versus Bay State match on Alpha, where it was just constantly, it looked like Davenport had the upper hand in so many rounds of that Search and Destroy, but it ended up being a 6-2 victory for Bay State because Davenport just kept making mistakes and Bay State kept taking advantage of those mistakes. So I think if you can limit the mistakes that you make inside of this match, gives you the best chance of being able to win out on a lot of these Search and Destroys. Now, looking particularly in these two teams, I would probably favor UWL going in towards the Search and Destroy. Their S&D record on the season has been a lot better than what we've seen on the side of University of Cincinnati. But recently, though, inside of Stage 2, UWL only won 6 of their Search and Destroys. They lost 4. So, I mean, still a better win percentage than losing percentage for themselves here. So this needs to be where UWL comes back. Just kind of going to be a question on whether or not they're going to, and if Cincinnati can really come and play to the same potential that UWL can inside S&D.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for you and I, this is our first time getting a glimpse at these two teams, and especially on stream, this is going to be a lot of people's first time seeing teams like this on stream, especially on the Alpha channel for College COD. So it's exciting to see what we get out of them in the Search and Destroy. Coming out of records that they do have, maybe we can for sure favor UWL going into the Search and Destroy, but Cincinnati had a wonderful game number 1, Jesse. You cannot overlook that. And the fact that when you're looking at the way that the Bearcats played that game number 1, it seemed like they were playing well together, which was the important factor of what I want to see inside a Search and Destroy. Don't make those mistakes, like you said, and run together. In a Berlin Search and Destroy, you can find plenty of trades.
Oh, absolutely. Felt like a full 4-man unit coming in from Cincinnati inside of that map number 1. So if they can keep that up here, it would be great. I think a big thing as well, Colin, will be shutting down Sam. He played very well inside of that map number 1. Search and Destroy is a big mode where an individual player can really take over a map. So watch for Sam to be able to do that here inside of this map. Shutting him down is going to be absolutely key for the University of Cincinnati to be able to come out and win rounds inside of the Search and Destroy.
And Flex was doing a great job in map number 1, but you also have to shout out the rest of the Bearcats because the ARs were doing just that, Jesse. Plenty of times you saw Sam getting shut down by those ARs lingering. Maybe we can see that again from the Bearcats going into this game too. But hopping on board with Cincinnati COD's attack, Bunga already on this B site. We do have a lurking player from UWL Esports. It's KG, but I don't think he got a whiff of Bunga dropping this bomb. So it will be a plant from the Bearcats, but down a player. KG really can shake things up if he splits this life inside of it. Pong really alone here. You need FlexBait to get the information, but here they come. Nosh evens it up. Pong wins the kill onto Sam, and suddenly UWL, 30 seconds left, forced to make a play in a 2-on-2.
And Sam dies with no follow-up from KG, who was in a spot where he could be able to help his teammate out in that spot. But KG will make the flank in from behind, able to find one. It's going to force us into a 1v1 as KG takes a look at Flex, but Flex in the perfect position. Once that bomb goes down, once those doors get broken, there is one spot to watch that bomb from. It's the back warehouse, and it is so hard to drop an AR out of that position.
No, Jesse, I mean, my points of things I want to see from these teams, it doesn't just go for the Bearcats. It goes for UWL as well. There's no reason for KG not to trade that out onto Bong. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but, I mean, Sam opens it up, gets a few shots, and you need to finish that kill.
He does get the trade eventually, So at least there's that, but unfortunately, it was just a little bit too late because you had the other player in flex all the way back and just watching over the line. Thing that's interesting to me so far inside of this game, Sam and Flex both pulling out ARs here on this map as well, really slowing down the pace of the two main subs that we saw there inside of that map one on Bacage.
We go over to A. As Nosh gets forced out into the offices, it seems like Bearcats, they've really done their homework here and they want to play a full 4 retake, but you still have Wraith with eyes on of offices just outside of that P3 area, so this wrap from Organic, if he decides to cross, it's not going to be for free. Wraith definitely has eyes on this, and you gotta be careful. Organic gets through, bomb's going down, and if you're an important thing to look at right now, Jesse, is that Cincinnati COD, nobody's on the flank.
But as soon as that bomb goes down, you can see players 3 and 4. They're going to start to make their way through middle of the map now, and I would expect that we see a big pinch start to develop from these back 3 players pushing in through the backside of the train yard. And if they can get player number 6 and Sam out of that top kind of little watch area, I guess it's like a sniper tower in the back. If you can kill Sam, it'll give you a good chance to be able to break in, but they are just not finding any of the kills right now, and that is just a great hold from UWL.
Perfect hold from UWL. I mean, it's just important when you're looking at the Bearcats and their setup for the retake is, yeah, they did it together, but they didn't expect Sam to be playing so slow. And I think it's a big thing to point out, Jesse, for UWL is that they've made the adaptation from game 1 to game 2. Sam has considerably slowed down, and he's taking this approach to game 2, the search and destroy, a lot more patiently.
Yeah, doesn't want to throw his life away too early because he knows he's going to be very, very important towards the back half of a lot of these rounds. He'll be the player that they need to really pop off if they want to win inside of this map, and I'm sure he knows that as well, and that's why you're starting to see the kind of slowdown of the pace of play here. But this time through, there's going to be a push over towards A. They get a great kill onto Organic right off the rip. Now Rapid needs to find a trade. Does not find a trade. Bomb will go down. It's going to need to be a 2v4 retake here for UWL.
Sam looking to make a play on the flank. Bomb's going to get spotted out. Wraith immediately turns around, expecting this player to chow, but Sam will finally take down Flexbait, removes him from outside train station. I don't think Wraith spotted him quick enough. Sam is making quite the ruckus on the inside. Looking for a second one to even us up. 24 seconds just to make this happen. KG for the equalizer. Wraith goes down. And suddenly, both players on Cincinnati COD backed up into the site. Sam, nice shots on a Nosh, won't finish it off. 6 HP for himself. And here comes KG for the swing. All up to Bung. 12 seconds left. All he needs to do is check this bomb. Sam's going to hop it right away. Slides on in. There's the round. Cincinnati COD going up by 1.
That's so unfortunate because KG in that spot just needed to watch over his teammate. But unfortunately, just they didn't know where Bunga was in that spot. And Bunga just makes a great play to be able to jump out, find that player, get him off the bomb, get away with his life. If they knew exactly where he was, maybe you have a better chance of being able to hold on that. But Bunga was just in every advantage in that spot, rocking the Boston breach, and I mean, just knocking things down as well. It's a great play there. And honestly, Colin, watching that round, I really did like the retake from Wisconsin in that spot. I thought they looked great on that retake. It really felt like Sam was just kind of running at them, and KG was following up with Sam being a huge distraction and just being able to find all those kills there. It looked really good. Unfortunately, just ran out of time at the end. Now UWL back on their offense, heading over towards this B site with the bomb this time through Organic. Very, very quick to get on. Very quick to start to get this bomb down, and now Bunga looks like he wants to try to bank a nade in here.
Book it and book it. Organic's gone. We'll see you next round. He does get the bomb planted. So 40 seconds in favor of Wisconsin. Now you look at Nosh to make a play for the overextension, and he's going to have to play this very patiently because Rapid has eyes on, but it doesn't spot him out. So Nosh basically in the backline for free. Rapid's going to do a counter wrap. See if you can flank this out. Wraith's going to spot him out, looking for the takedown, but no, shaky shots, trades back and forth, and I don't know what we're seeing right now. It's a dance between Rapid and Wraith, and Rapid finally taking him down, but the job is done. Can he finish off on this round? He needs to find one more kill, and the bomb planter is definitely going to be a shoe-in. Checks the bomb right away, finds the kill onto Nosh and Rapid. A 1v3 to close out round number 4.
That's a big, big win there for Rapid as well. I mean, the first kill onto Wraith runs out of ammo. You need to make sure you clean that up, but the way that he plays it after, I mean, I don't fully agree with the reload when you only needed 3 bullets out of you, when you only had 3 bullets out of your SMG in that spot, when there were players that were on the rise trying to come get you. But you know what? Gets the reload off, gets the kill, and then gets the second as well inside of the site. So Can't really fault him there. Gets the 1v3, gets the job done. It's great on his part. Flex now watching over middle of the map. We'll see two players cross over towards the A site. That's going to instantly back him up. Go towards this back tower. Watch this flank as well while the bomb moves over towards the B site.
KG gets spotted by Bung, so Bearcats, they should know that there's at least 2 on B, 2 on A. FlexBait will shut down the overextension from Rapid, so numbers now over to A. It's going to call for an instant wrap out of this bomb, and I mean, if you're Wisconsin, you should expect this. Right away, you lose a player, you need to help out Organic here. He's on an island alone, looking to make a play to shut down this attack out of the Bearcats. Will it happen? Shots are going to ring out, gives out the position, and he instantly backs up. So big call there from Organic to play his life. But he goes down
Flex,
anyways.
Oh, and Flex finds one through middle of the map. That's so massive because now this just opens up so much potential to get this bomb down. You've got a player watching over you as well. Sam will find one at the very least to make it a 3 versus 2, but now left all alone in a 3v1, and the bomb's still not down.
Well, the bomb's wrapping.
This is interesting because the bomb is wrapping over towards B, and Sam, if he reads this correctly, could shut down this whole push.
Well, I mean, the bomb hasn't got down yet, so Sam should know the wrap is going to go. But
he guessed wrong. That's tough.
Goes back to A, sees the bomb's not down on a 1v3 to take down this B site, and you look at where Wraith is set up, all the way back warehouse. I mean, the first thing on Sam's checklist should be taking out the player back here, and it looks like that is going to be on his sights. Right now, it's just playing the clock. 28 seconds to make this happen. Hasn't spotted the player up top just yet. There it is. 2v1. Nosh inside mailroom, playing it patiently. Bong on the inside of the B site as well. So both players are in a position to really shut down Sam on a crossfire. In 14 seconds, you know, Sam desperately needs to get into the site. He has no time to make a play comfortably. It has to be go, 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 Jesse. And there's just no time to make it happen. Cincinnati COD making the call, wrapping it back to B, and going back up into the lead.
I know it was a 1v3, but the way that they played that after it got into a 1v2 where they checked, got the information, and then just ran and hid within that last 14 seconds was just perfect play from Cincinnati. I mean, you could not have asked for a better job from the University of Cincinnati in that spot to be able to just stay alive in it and not allow Sam to make a play. And it worked so well. They get the round victory out of it. I absolutely love that play there. Just to play the time, don't allow Sam to get any kind of momentum in that spot. Yes, he'll be on 3 in a row, possibly looking for some streaks, but it's a great play. Now you'll see 2 players. Once again, Sam spots those 2 on the wrap over towards the A zone. And what this does is it gives them all the information in the world, like, hey, B is pretty open. Let's just get this bomb down, try to get away as quickly as possible. And this time, a stun will take out Flex behind the bomb. And this is going to be a very, very hard retake for Cincinnati COD.
I didn't even know they saw FlexBait. I'm really hoping that this flank pays out. You got both 2 and 3 making the play out the back. Rapid's going to spot them out. Hops up. It's going to be a cheeky one. Snaps back over to Wraith. He's going to find that kill, but now Nosh last alive in a 1v2. 18 seconds left. He's going to be spotted by KG and removed from the round. And UWL Esports still going blow for blow right now in the search and destroy, Jesse. Nobody to take a defensive round just yet. The offense is just too strong for both of these teams, and what we're talking about, you know, things that we like to see from them and things that we're focusing on, the communication has been on point. You can visibly see these teams are talking to each other.
It's been really, really good so far. Very impressed with how both teams are playing inside of this search and destroy. When it gets down to it, though, it's really going to come down to who's going to take that defense, right? Who will be the first team to really come out and come away with it? And it's funny because most of the time you're battling to get that final defense, but not right now with how these 2 teams are playing this one out. Cincinnati instantly inside of B, instantly going to try to start to get this bomb down. It actually looks like they might kind of stray away from putting it down right away this time, but eventually Bung will get confidence. Bomb goes down, and he's away with his life for the time being.
If you're Bung, you should know that KG's out there. He's been playing every single round in the same spot. Nosh gets information on Organic. Now he's on the hunt. A lot of information right now in the favor of Bearcats. Nosh is going to take down KG or Organic on the inside. KG falls to Bong. All up to Rapid now in a 1v4 situation. You only have 22 seconds to make the impossible happen. And you spot out FlexBait, but you can't get the job done. So Bearcats, a wonderful offensive round to take back your lead and hit 4.
It's a great round from Cincinnati COD there. I mean, just, again, push up, get the bomb down, play your post plan set up perfectly. It works out so well in that spot, then they just don't allow UWL to do anything on the retake once again. And UWL, I mean, as much as map number 1 was a must-win for Cincinnati, I feel like this map is a must-win for you guys. So at this point of the game, we need to turn it on. We need to hit that next level of search and destroy. It's been your best mode all year long. We need to see it here. Push going back over towards the A zone. This is where the mind games really start to come in because both teams have been very successful at both sites. But it looks like UWL this time through, they want to favor A. Nosh is in a great spot, though, to shut down this push.
All of a sudden, though, he's alone, so he needs to go big. Won't be able to finish off Organic, but expects Sam in the window. He's going to snap onto him to even us up now. Still on an island, 2 players to pressure him out. Still alive, though, takes down Rapid. Flex to help out is going to put Organic in a 1v3 with bomb in hand, but Noshi's unstoppable, Jesse, towards A. He says, this is my site, and we're taking the first defensive round.
Yeah, I mean, we said Nosh was in a great spot there to shut that down. I was maybe hoping for him to get 1 and get away with his life, or get 1 and end up falling. At least get 1. Gets 3 in the round. Does a great job to help his team out to be able to find so many kills. Now finds himself on a 4 spree as well. Nosh, I mean, couldn't have asked for a bigger round out of the guy going over towards the A side, and now Cincinnati, their offenses have looked so good. Just need 1 more here to put this game away, to take a 2-0 chokehold on UWL in this series.
They decided to shake it up, go back to A. Organic, he's going to be caught out. Rapid for the trade. He's going to drop bomb inside of offices, so forces the Bearcats to make a push into no man's land, if you must say. But you look
I wouldn't want to fight Nosh in it.
You look at the rest, though, of UWL, Jesse. Wisconsin, they haven't bit just yet on the bait towards A. They're still putting a focus from KG over towards B, and you need to get this rotation soon. Rapid's going to push aggressively, takes down FlexBait on the outside. Nice bait and switch from Sam is going to tag up Nosh, now last alive. They should be able to find this kill. Sam's going to fly, and he's going to take him down, and UWL Esports went backed into a corner, Jesse. They get a defensive round of their own.
Pitcher and pitcher for those 2 kills, and you can see Nosh falls right beside his teammate's body in the exact same way, with Sam flying over the top and shutting it down. And just as we were like, oh yes, Cincinnati, they took a defense that looks like it should be game, UWL, they answer right back with a defense of their own. Now need 1 more offense to force us into the round 11 here. I feel like their B hits have been a little bit better than the A hits have been for UWL, and with the way they got shut down at A in the last round, it looks like they feel the same way. They just want to push over towards B, try to get this bomb down, but there is a big presence here right now from Cincinnati.
Organic caught with his pants down inside the B site. Now 0-8, Jesse. I didn't call him out that he was in the agency, but now he's beyond. 0-8 for Organic inside the search. It's just numbers that you can't have. KG almost finds the answer back, but he won't be able to finish up Flex. And Flex transitions 1-2 inside of that B site, now putting Cincinnati COD in a wonderful position to end this one out. The job's not done just yet, Jesse. You still have Sam alive in 48 seconds, so this is definitely doable for UWL.
There's always an opportunity, and there's always potential for a round win with Sam alive. 10-6, playing very, very well, but it's basically been a 3v4 for this entire game with Organic. Like you said, 0-8, not playing at his best. Sam just looking to see if he can find anything right now. Over towards this B zone. If he can spot out the player down here on the docks, he'll be able to help win this round, but Bunga just playing in the perfect spot, shuts them down, and now a 1v3 for Rapid.
I thought we got the exterminator. There's rats in the docks of Berlin, and Rapid shaky shots onto that last player. He's not going to be able to find the second. And in a 1v3, it's just a sinking ship for UWL Esports. Map number 2, the way of the Bearcats. And now up 2-0 in a series, Jesse. Something we did not expect from a team coming out of Tier 4 division inside of the CCL. But hey, they're getting the job done, and they are looking damn good.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And speaking of looking damn good, I'm sure we'll see the stats again at the end, but Flex, I mean, talk about a man who has come out and clearly has come to play. This is playoff Flex here, coming in for the CCL. I mean, great jobs. Do we call him playoff Flex, or do we call him LCQ Flex? Because it's technically not the playoffs yet. We're not in the playoffs just yet, but he's hitting form at the right time. Looked great in map 1. He had to have at least been double positive inside of that map 2. I think he was like 11-6. Like I said, we'll get the final stats at some point here on the screen, but I mean, a great game there from Flex, and here they are perfectly on time. We love sport here, and once again, Flex 12-6 to finish the game. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better game inside of Search and Destroy from him.
12-6 from Flex, but I gotta talk about Bung and Nosh both playing individual island positions on the A side and the B side, and both turning up for the team. 7 and 6, both players matching each other. And in the situations that they needed to, they were always finding 1, maybe even 2 kills inside of their represented sites to always shut down a play from UWL Esports. And it's big things like that you need out of a team in Search and Destroy. And Cincinnati COD, they made those adjustments. You can tell that they came into this map prepared. And they did their homework against UWL.
Hey, what did we say coming into this series? We said we needed 2 teams to come into this, and if you want to win this series, if you want to win any series in the LCQ, all 4 players need to be firing at all full cylinder, and that's what you're getting from Cincinnati. You're getting a full, well-rounded team effort. From UWL, I said it at the very end of that game, it felt basically like a 3v4, because you just had a really, really rough game from Organic there, and I said coming into this, he's the X factor of the team. He needs to be playing at his best for UWL to be winning maps. 164 damage through 10 rounds of Search and Destroy is just simply not enough for them. And if UWL want to win this in the back half of the series, he needs to be the player to turn up for this UWL roster.
What we're going to have to see, folks, if it's going to be a win at a UWL, it's got to be a reverse sweep. We got the Control coming up next, a quick break, and when we come back, the continuation between Cincinnati COD and UWL Esports. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to the CCL postseason. We're into the LCQ, and we're in round number 1 with Cincinnati COD taking on UWL Esports. And Jesse, Cincinnati COD up 2-0 is not something that we had on our list when we were going into this. This is a team in Stage 1 who didn't win a single map. And you can tell going into LCQ, they have made some changes. They've made some adjustments to get better.
Yeah, they've definitely made a lot of plays where this team is looking a lot stronger than what we saw at any point through Stage 1. And for me, it's got to be the fact of how the CCL system works. I mean, they didn't play the greatest, so they dropped down to Tier 4 competition. But you know what happened in Tier 4 competition for the Cincinnati COD roster?
What happened?
Is they got to go through, they got to get a little bit better week after week, and they went out 5-1. They only lost 3 maps in Tier 4, and you just got to think that that built so much confidence for this roster that going into a series against Cincinnati COD or against UWL Esports, who was 3-6 in Stage 2 competition, probably not the most confident team, that they're just riding high right now, and they're using it to full advantage inside of this series.
Well, they're riding that wave all the way into what we see right now. We're looking at the map set. You got that Bokosh hardpoint, which was pretty neck and neck, Jesse, throughout the whole thing until, the last portion, I guess the last 3 hills when you really saw the Bearcats take control and win it out 250 to 182. Then you go into the Search and Destroy, and that was neck and neck as well. I mean, you're going back and forth on offenses, and you trade out defenses, but it was just a little bit, late to the draw was UWL Esports. And the Bearcats, I mean, they've always felt like they're one step ahead inside this series against UWL. Not to mention, Jesse, and I haven't brought this up, but it's been on my mind this whole time. I love their logo. It's so simple, but you know what? It's sick. I love it.
Hey man, those Bearcats, they definitely do be scratching. That's all I'm gonna say about that logo. But
I'm gonna quote you on that.
To go back to that last point that you had, where you were just kind of talking about how Cincy's looked really, really good in the series, and I agree they have. I just don't know if they're going to close it out, if that makes sense. It's hard to say because they've looked great, okay, but I can see the series ending in 3, but I can also see this series ending in 5 for UWL still if they turn it up and they play better in the back half of this. Well, so they just need to turn it up, I think.
The reverse sweep, it's not off the board just yet. You're back into the respawns, which should be UWL's spot to fight back, but an excellent break is going to find itself from the Bearcats as they shut down the offense towards A. No overextension towards B either, Jesse. You do have a player who slipped the line. It was Rapid, but he gets sniffed out by Wraith as well. And look at the setup from Flex. He lines up 2 of them. UWL, they don't even know where these players are, and the Bearcats are picking them apart in Tuscan. The confidence has just been flowing over into this map, and FlexBait, he's 7-0. He's already found full streaks. He's even challenging KG when tagged up. There's nothing that's stopping him, Jesse.
That's an ego chow and a half, but you know what? When you start the game 7-0 and you've already got full streaks, ego chow whatever you want in that spot. And a 7-kill lead right off the rip here for Cincinnati COD. UWL, though, they will be able to get in onto the A zone, start to get a tick of progression at least going up here, and at least getting the 3 ticks of progression in over at A will be absolutely detrimental towards trying to find that final defensive round.
Long snaps onto KG. You gotta finish those, and only one ticket progression going to be collected towards this A zone. Over to B. UWL goes, where Wraith is sitting here solo dolo, but has a pinch from player number 8. Flexbait around the outside is going to find Rapid. Here comes the pinch from the rest. While Nosh clears off Sam, and these last two players from UWL looking to get there in time, but they're too little too late. It's already been shut down. Organic's the only one close to B, and he's going to at least find a kill onto Nosh. Draws back the players from the Bearcats to shut him down, and a lot of attention's actually being pushed into this B zone, Jesse. And while that happens, UWL, they actually get a good progression towards A. They find their second tick. 21 seconds, though. 9 lives to 19. Can they finish this out? I mean, they are down by a lot.
Nosh was just playing so annoying over towards the A zone, just staying alive over and over again, just kind of snaking, playing their life over on that head glitch, but does end up falling. Will give 3 ticks of progression to UWL. Very, very important for them to at least get those 3 ticks. Now they need to try to find a way to break into this B zone. The only issue is you've only got a minute left, but the bigger issue, Colin, 7 lives only remaining to the 15 on Cincinnati. I mean, you're going to need basically 2 team wipes to even get onto this B zone.
Realistically, you have to do it without dropping one of your own. Sam's going to go down in the back, slowing down, basically halting this offense from UWL, but Organic pushed a little bit too close to the sun. Nosh is going to take him out. Up top bunks, back to step 1 will be UWL Esports, and Nosh gets caught out top church. Sam doubles down onto Wraith. Bung's going to be forced out of P5 to wrap back. Is able to take down Rapid inside of Radio. On site, Sam gets dropped by Flexbait. It's going to be a 2-for-2 trade. Now 27 seconds and only 3 players left here from UWL Esports. And it has been nothing but trades ever since this B zone has been the main focus, Jesse. And that is just not the recipe to success here for UWL. So, I mean, Cincinnati COD, they're in a position now to take round 1. They just need to take down Organic, and there it is. And a wonderful round 1 as well.
That's a tough round. It's really, really tough when you get wiped so early on. And I think that you saw Flex right off the rip just come out really, really hot for this roster. I mean, the way that he comes out and he starts off 7-0, and not only shuts down that, but probably also just kicks any little steam out of University of Wisconsin lacrosse that he absolutely could in that spot. Very, very hard to come back from. I mean, doesn't have the prettiest rest of the round. Ends up finishing 5-5 after that 7-0 start, but an 11-5 round nonetheless for Cincinnati. Very, very good off the rip. Only allowed 3 ticks of progression, and now for the side of Cincinnati COD, they're all going to head over towards the B zone right off the rip here. And if they can catch them off guard, find a few ticks of progression, could be the difference maker in between their first round and this round.
Well, UWL have adapted, Jesse. They go 2-for-2, basically. Wraith, the last one here, and he comes out with a kill onto Rapid as well. It is going to keep this attention towards B from UWL Esports, and it's going to continue to pull players away from this A zone. But while this is happening, I mean, Cincinnati COD, they haven't even been flooding over to here. You got a big one-on-one from Flexbait. Rapid's going to shut him down. And on both fronts, the attacks are shut down at a Cincinnati COD, at a UWL Esports.
Great answer back here from UWL now. I mean, and now you can shut them down over towards A as well. It's just Bunga who is there in that spot, trying to stay alive. And you can see pretty much Cincinnati at this point, they're just playing zone tag. This very reminiscent of watching raid control back in last year's Call of Duty, because when you die at one zone, just spawn up, go to the other. But UWL just has an answer for everything right now on defense, just everybody getting shut down. And now an 8-life lead here for UWL. I mean, this is just a great answer back.
This is like exactly what we saw at round 1, just kind of flipped from this team. Rapid around the outside, has the overextension, catches Nosh looking the wrong way, so it's 2 in a row to close out on the offense towards A. Looks like he wants to get a little bit aggressive into this one as well. Has slipped the line. 2 are going to line up. A little cheeky from Wraith, slides on forward, still not going to be able to find the kill. Rapid alive for 4, slowing down Cincinnati COD on their A push. KG on a 5 spree. You don't want to drop here. Streaks would be massive to pick up, but he goes down. Flexbait shutting down the streaks. That's a big moment from Cincinnati COD.
And now Flex still stopping that clock on A. The 6 life lead here still for UWL. So still not in a terrible spot for trying to win this round out, but you allow one more tick of progression. That's an instant advantage for Cincinnati, and they'll take one more shot at trying to break this, but it looks like Cincinnati will be successful in closing it down, and FlexBait still has those streaks, and he's on a 5. Might choose to invest the glide bomb here and then play for more streaks after.
Jesse, they have closed the life lead considerably. Made Rapid in his position. Almost have to find a kill, but Bung sniffs him out. Give me the go-ahead now to flood on forward. See if they can overwhelm Sam on this patio. Sam does walk away with 1. Should halt this attack for now. And looking for a little bit more, but Bearcats, they don't want to give him anything at all. KG will shut down FlexBait around the outside. Trapped inside radio will be these remaining players. And Rapid comes around, shuts the door with 3 in a row. And now looking for a little bit more of spawn. No, he's going to tuck himself in a corner. I love this even more.
Rapid has been insane in this last round. I mean, a complete turnaround from round 1 to round 2. He was 0-8 after round 1. Now 11-15, a much, much better round here for Rapid, just in terms of building up confidence and trying to push their way out of this. But
okay,
you know what? Cincinnati's not going down without a fight yet. 3 players left. They will hop onto the zone. It was a 3v11, now a 3v7, and they should be able to get this second tick as long as nobody falls. And yeah, it's just not enough.
It's just so hard, Jesse. I mean, one thing we talk about on a Tuscan control, especially when you're so low in lives, is you don't have the resources to overextend, to cut off the rotations of spawn. And as soon as they spawn up, you can see the players from Wisconsin. I mean, they cook those nades. They spam out with the utility onto that B site. They make sure that as soon as they tumble on in, they're able to shut it down, and they do. Only giving up 1 tick towards B, but still nonetheless, Bearcats, they should be leading in tick progression by 1.
And now UWL, they're looking to make a better offense than what we saw inside of round number 1. They got so wiped so early on inside of that round that it was so hard to come back from the kill differential that they need to just look to have a little bit better of a slaying job here. Bung will hit around the outside, gets 1. You got to get that trade there. They don't find it, and now they get rid of the tick onto A as well. The zone was almost completely finished. That's just a trade that needs to come through.
Flex, he's going to find even more. 22-11 out of your main Slayer. Back for the trade. Sam tags him with the stun, but it doesn't seem like he knows he's going to be there just yet. Sam's going to pop up, and as soon as he does, there's a little bit of whack-a-mole at a flex bait. Shuts him down, and over towards B they go. As 2 players here to stack the zone, and will be able to gain 1 tick of progression, but as soon as that tick comes through, you can see the rest of Cincinnati COD funneling on in, and they're funneling on in right to the guns of UWL. Sam's going to find 2. Second tick's going to be collected, Jesse. Now working on the 3rd, but Rapid, he's just going to overextend, see if he can draw some more lives out of the hands of the Bearcats, and he does. 22-21, he's still alive in the back, but finally closed on out. FlexBait will shut him down, and while that happens, UWL, they close the A zone.
Just being so annoying over towards B, and now if you're UWL, you got 20 lives remaining and 2 minutes to get 1 tick of progression over at B. Surely this is the best spot that anybody's been in towards trying to be able to finish off a B zone. So if UWL can't close this round out on offense, I don't know what round they can. They will find a kill through the back, so that completely opens up a big flank potential now as well for UWL. Pretty much have flipped out this entire map, and now you've also got Cincy spawning up at the top side of the map. This is a great chance to get onto the B zone.
It is a great chance indeed, but no high ground control means you have nobody to watch over you. Still on the inside, contention's going to come through from Nosh, and he cleans up the rest. So shutting down this attack to the B zone, back on the respawn will be UWL. It looks like, again, they're going to play this patiently, Jesse. Just group up through the middle of the map. They go 1 for 1, so live should be even, but FlexBait will have the better spawn. So I'm UWL right now. I'm waiting for Sam to get into this position. You don't want to drop any more lives. Rapid's going to chip a few shots over towards Bunks, allows Sam to punch on through, but it's another 1 for 1, and Nosh, he takes the advantage there for Cincinnati COD. 1:09. You need to be careful if you're UWL. You don't want to give up your advantages.
And yeah, I mean, already a 3 life differential again now, like you said. And I mean, yeah, if you're UWL here, it's just, you need to play patient and just get 1 solid break onto this. And it's what they're going for once again through the backside. Wraith will fall. This will open up another great opportunity. But once again, they don't got that high ground, so you need to find a way to break in and find it. And Flex, that kill is absolutely massive just to stagger the push over towards B.
Bearcats have completely flipped this one out. In for the contention. No, not in for the contention just yet. Rapid's going to find two. Wraith needs to go big on the inside, and he does with the help of Flex Bait, so staying alive. The Bearcats holding on to this last take, but Sam lines up three of them. Now it's Nosh alone on the inside, and if anybody you want to have in this position, it's going to be Nosh because he cleans up just like that. Finds two for himself. Now 26 seconds left for UWL to take this B zone.
That three-piece was all that UWL needed. It was the opening that they needed to try to get onto the zone, and now from 2 minutes to 15 seconds left, they've got one shot at trying to break this B zone.
One opportunity. Blank Bait closes off one, finds a second. Only two players here to make a play. Rapid, last one on the inside. Wraith's going to clean him up. 10 seconds left. It's a desperation attempt now out of UWL to attack this B site, but do they even want to give up these lives here? I mean, Sam working on through this P5 situation. He doesn't get there in time to take the battle. Cincinnati COD going up inside this control 2-1 over UWL. Holding on to the B zone, Jesse, but just barely. I mean, you have to think. I mean, there was maybe 3 opportunities there from UWL to close out that round, and it was just clutch plays out of Cincinnati. Individual plays for them to make it happen.
And I think when Sam found that three-piece and gave them that really good opportunity of getting it onto B, I think Sam needed to slow down there and wait for the rest of the UWL players to come off spawn and then get into those powerful spots. Just went a little bit too quickly, wasn't able to get it. Now looking at this next round here, because you got 5 ticks of progression as UWL inside of that last round, if you're Cincinnati, to guarantee yourself the final offense, you need 5 ticks of progression here inside of this round, 4 to tie them and go down to a kill count. So honestly, if I'm UWL in this round, I'm not even putting a ton of pressure over at A. I would just chalk it up and just play for a full defense at B for this entire round.
Well, it seems like they're involuntarily giving up the A zone, Jesse. Organic looking to make a flank play, but it's too little too late. The zone gets cleaned up. Organic still falls, and a 1-for-1 trade on the outside will halt this offense for now. You can see Nosh looking to clean up their spawn. Rapid was there until Wraith removed him, and now sights on the B zone for Cincinnati COD, Jesse. 2 minutes to make it happen.
Very similar situation to what we saw UWL in the last round. Because realistically, if you're Cincy, you just need 2 ticks of progression. You'll guarantee yourself at least that final defense, and it is so hard to win offense inside of these games. And already, though, off the rip, UWL get a nice 3-man down. You completely stagger the push, and now it actually gives you an opportunity to push across the map as well and start trying to get some players off the spawn.
This is exactly what we saw out of their last defense, Jesse. As soon as you get 3 down, they let Rapid off the leash, and he is flying through this map. He's just making sure that when these fights are taken, he's taking them up close and personal. Again, he's going to slip in the back, so another flank at a Rapid. If you're Cincinnati COD, you need to go now because that flank, you know it's going to be coming, but they lose the fight on the inside, on the front line. Rapid around the outside. He's going to shut down on the flank. Now, look at the player inside fire. It's going to be Nosh. Won't be able to take it down, but a wonderful job to cut down a lot of time. Minute 4 left.
That's a big kill. Big kill from Nosh there. Just to open up the backline, not allow for that flank to keep on coming through. But look at Rapid right off spawn,
Sam.
going right back towards the middle of the map. Now trying to come up through the bottom of the stairs of Command Center and right back on the flank. Here comes Rapid.
Here's the thing. This is so annoying. Sam's going to shut down Bunga on the front line. You do lose out on 3 players, but here's Rapid again. Closing out on these lives. Finding one to slow the progression out of Cincinnati COD. You have the respawns here if you UWL, but Flex actually takes down Rapid, so this is good progression out of Cincinnati COD. They just need to stack the site. As you can see that these reinforcements, these respawns are staggering on in towards B. Samurai on the outside is going to line up too. So he shuts them down. A pistol for a third. Absolutely slaps Nosh with the rat in his face. And now lives even, 31 seconds. 4 ticks collected out of Cincinnati so far.
So if you're Cincinnati, you get 1 more tick of progression, you're guaranteeing yourself final defense. If not, it's going to go down to kills, and I'm not going to be able to do that math in 15 seconds to tell you who's going to get this final defense here between these 2 teams. Cincinnati, though, making the push in through the front. They will be able to find a little bit of time, able to hop onto B, but the stack is just not there. They end up falling, and with only 10 seconds left, I don't know if anybody on Cincinnati is going to be able to get close to get onto this B zone again.
It's just like I said from UWL last round. It's desperation just to touch this zone, but nobody in a position to stop that clock. UWL Esports sending us to round number 5, Jesse. Now this brings to light your point that we said back in round number 1 of this control. This series, it could be a 3-0 to Cincinnati COD. But if they give up this control, it opens up for that reverse sweep out of UWL Esports. And look at this, UWL on the offense. They're going to have to take both zones and do it the hard way just to start this reverse sweep, like you said.
Absolutely. And look at FlexBait, 39 and 24. You got to think that's part of the reason why they're able to get that final defense. But a better start here for UWL right off the break, going over towards the A zone. Get 1 tick of progression, already get 2 lives, make it 3 now off the board for Cincinnati. It's a good start, but it needs to be perfect, and you need to be able to get that B zone, and it's been what's been the bear of their existence through a lot of this map so far.
They shut down A, only giving up 2 ticks. Rapid has made the overextension towards B, and you can see 3 players pushing back to shut that down, leaving Nosh alive at A. But I mean, this is a position that we saw last time on defense. Nosh so comfortable on these islands. We saw it in the search, and we see it in the control. He's the player to make plays on site. Well, he's doing that as well. You look at player number 7, Bung, has actually slipped all the way deep into fire, so we're going to make a flank play out of him. You have the collapse out of Cincinnati. Sam's going to take down Wraith. Still, here's the flank from Bung. Presented himself for 2. A third around the corner. Bung does it all. Clears off A. Now time to look to the respawns.
Yeah, you've only got 54 seconds left now if you're UWL to try to get onto one of these 2 zones. Rapid will be able to spot out Bung, but Bung again goes absolutely massive. Now finds themselves on a 5 spree, trying to close this map out, trying to close out the 3-0 here for Cincinnati COD. And once again, starting to push out, starting to shut down UWL. And they don't even want to allow them to get this A zone, let alone win the round.
Bung again, 30 and 24. 31. He's collecting right now through the middle of the map. Organic doesn't know where to look. He's scatterbrained on the inside. FlexBait holding on to this contention for now. The A zone gets collected, but a 9 streak out of Bung. You have full streaks in his hands to shut down this B zone offense and a 9 life comfort zone.
Yeah, I was going to say they get the A zone, but at what cost? 10 life lead now for Cincinnati here. No map positioning and no map control at all for UWL. This is going to take a monumental effort to be able to get this B zone.
Jesse, I don't think Bung let go of his analog stick for that whole 9 spree. Even up to his death. Just crazy things out of him. And again, he's right on the front line. He's just laying prone, waiting for the offense to come here. Gonna take down Sam. KG just around the corner will find the trade, but the damage has been done. Now they've cut down this time clock to 55 seconds. Nosh looking to clean up this last player on the patio, and he does. And it forces now UWL Esports to make a play through Church.
6 lives only remaining. You've pretty much got 1 solid shot at trying to break this, get on, and stack the point if you're UWL Esports. And since he has so many streaks on their side, I can't see a world where this happens. But 5 lives left. They're going to make a play through the back.
9-2 down. Stops the clock at 30 seconds. KG takes down Bunga before the glide bomb gets called in. So a chance now to collect a few zone progression here. Glide bomb going to be called in. You see on the inside, FlexBait, Wraith, they take down 2. Glide bomb's going to be a third. 3 go down. 24 seconds. Organic, you need to stay alive here. Only 2 players left. Rapid or Organic to capture 2 zones or 2 ticks of progression at the B zone, Jesse. Doesn't look like it's going to make it happen. Organic goes down. Last alive is going to be Rapid inside Church. 6 seconds left. You just need to take him down. You're going to be moving on inside of the bracket. Rapid goes down, and your Bearcats are clawing their way into round number 2 in the Midwest B group. They're going to make it happen in a 3-0 sweep.
What a game. What a series for Cincinnati and for Flex especially. I mean, I think he had to have almost had 50 kills towards the end of that game for himself, and 47 to finish it off. 47 and 29. Started on that 7 spree. You can see it right there, the highest streak that he went on through that entire game. But they saved those streaks all the way until the end. And even when UWL were showing some heroics at the very end there, if they don't have streaks, if you're Cincinnati COD, maybe UWL can win that round out, even in a 6v12 in that spot. Maybe there's a small opportunity to win that round, but with the streaks added on top of it, there was just no chance, since he just had so much power on their side to be able to close that down, and UWL just could not answer back. They fell too early, too often inside of that round, and a 10 life lead is just so hard to come back from and control, especially on offense.
Well, Jesse, this team is looking to go from 0 to hero inside of the LCQ. Starting off strong with a 3-0 sweep over UWL Esports in round number 1 of the Midwest Group B. And, I mean, coming up next for this team, I mean, it doesn't get easier. They got Southern Illinois in round number 2. And after that, Iowa Esports. So, I mean, we take a look at that end scoreboard. I mean, the game to close out the 3-0. And you talk about Bung. You talk about Flex on both sides. I mean, having wonderful games. I want to see their EKIA, especially Bung. I mean, his EKIA must have been so high. He had 4.2k damage throughout that whole control. I mean, I swear that as soon as Bung saw someone, he shot them. He was playing so well, and he was playing so fast.
And I feel like with Bung especially, like, I feel like the first couple rounds, it wasn't really that noticeable how well he was playing. But when he went on that 9 spree in the final round, I mean, that pretty much iced the round for them when you get that many kills in a row inside of control. Right. And on top of that, how many times he stopped them from being able to cap the A zone early on, that it just gave UWL pretty much no time to be able to get that B zone afterwards. And it's just a great, well-rounded team effort from this whole Cincinnati roster. And it's exactly what we said in our keys to victory for them coming into this series, was that they needed to play well as a full, well-rounded team. We'll get to take a look at the full series here one more time. It was a 250 to 182 on that opening Bakash hardpoint. Very close through the early portions of it, but Cincy in the back half of the second set of rotations really took that game over. The Berlin Search and Destroy, again, extremely tight all the way through. Cincinnati just came out on top at the end. And then same thing with that Tuscan Control. A very close map. Cincinnati COD just had that edge here today.
I mean, Jesse, when you look at it, the score at the top, a 3-0, it does not tell the tale of what we saw throughout these 3 maps. UWL Esports, they played their hearts out. I mean, they played so well from start to finish. It's just, you're right. I mean, they couldn't ice up in a lot of those rounds in Search and Destroy, and they couldn't finish it out inside of the control, and they're going to be tipping out of the CCL right now. Inside round number 1, Jesse, out of the LCQ, Cincinnati COD, they move forward. And up next for this team, Southern Illinois inside of Group B. So that's going to be an interesting one for Cincinnati COD, especially because a team at a T4 or Tier 4, Jesse, inside of the CCL over in the Midwest Division. I mean, this is a team that they need to make leaps and bounds every single series, and just they need to improve from series to series. So this is their chance now to push even farther, go over the Vaughn against UWL, see those mistakes you made, and improve.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not going to be an easy road by any means necessary.
No.
And we really highlighted that when we started it off, that it's going to be a long road to being able to get into that 64-team playoff. You need to win 3 series. Well, first upset, in my opinion, already done. I don't think that we were really expecting a Tier 4 team to come in and be able to beat a Tier 3 team here. But you know what? It is CCL. It is playoff time. Right. And honestly, anything is possible when it comes down to college sports, college esports, and it comes down to the playoffs. It just comes down to who shows up on that day. And you know what? If Cincinnati can keep playing at the level that they're playing at right now, who knows what kind of run they can go on here in the LCQ.
I mean, Jesse, postseason CCL, you gotta love it. It is the best thing ever, and I cannot wait to push even farther. But folks, next up, we got the University of Louisville versus Concordia, Wisconsin on the Alpha stream. Proper and I hold shift to take you through that. We're going to cut to a break, and on the flip side, some more LCQ action. Stay tuned.